All right. Welcome back to another episode from the WYN Network. This is Unpopular Opinion. I'm trying to be deliberate. I'm trying to be consistent. But this one's gonna be a quick one. It won't take long. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna get on out the way. Um, the topic for today is you can't have it both ways. All right. I want that to sink in for just a moment. You can't have it both ways. Eventually, you may be able to. I'm not going to say that there ain't people out here having it their way, whatever way they want to have. But the main point I'm trying to get you to understand is that you can't just do anything and then expect to get everything. I'll say that again. You can't just do anything and expect to get everything. You can't expect to have the results before putting in the work. You can't expect to reap before you actually sow. You can't expect a harvest before you actually plant. You know what I mean? You just really have to definitely put things in perspective and put things in order and make sure that you are doing what's necessary to make things come to fruition. Now, one thing about this is that you have to think about, okay, am I doing enough? Some people may think, oh, all I got to do is this little bit and I'm going to get everything. I just got to do this one part. When actually the opposite of that is true. You may have to do more. And sometimes you can be doing too much, just overdoing it, overthinking it, trying to make it perfect, and really just overwhelming yourself and burning yourself out and not really working smart, but just working hard. And I know that may sound cliche, but you just definitely have to really be mindful and aware of your situation because when it all boils down to it, you have to do what you don't want to do at times or for a period of time in order to get what you want. Or I can put it a better way. You're going to have to do what you need to do. You have to do what you need to do in order to get what you want. You're going to have to do what you need to do in order to get what you want. There may be some late nights involved. That may include some early mornings. That may include some long days. That may include some long nights. But it's going to take some effort. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some commitment. It's going to take some dedication. And it's going to also take some choices that will be made for you to be away from certain things for a season, for a reason, for a period, in order to have more time to be around those things you had to put on hold or put on pause. And sometimes it may just very well be that that season is over because you can do it up until a point, and then once that time is done, you have to move on to the next level because you can't bring everything with you from the past or from the previous level to the next level. I mean, if you think about it, you plant that seed, you put it in the pot, eventually it's going to outgrow that pot. You know, I could think about some of these trees in my backyard. I can remember some of them, I could wrap my hands around the trunk in that way. But now, while it doesn't appear to have grown much, I can't do that anymore, you know. But you're definitely going to have to put in the time. You're definitely going to have to put in the mind power, the brain power. You're going to have to definitely build those relationships. I know that's one of the things that I'm learning that, okay, we're not an island. We might be a peninsula, but we definitely are something that works together to do some things. And now it ain't gonna be perfect when you start out. It's not gonna be perfect. It just it. But the thing about it is, you gotta start. You gotta put it in the work. But the thing of it is, you can't have it both ways. You're gonna have to do this before you can get to that. And if you just put that in perspective, I just want to just reiterate and just kind of throw that out there to somebody that may be listening. Somebody may be listening right now. Somebody may be listening tomorrow. Somebody may see this sometime in the future. But the thing of it is, you have to be committed to do it. Because some people think, okay, I can just go out here and just, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do a million different things, and all of it's gonna work. You can try a myriad of things, but you have to figure out, okay, what works best for my situation, what works best for my schedule, what works best for my time, what works best for my particular mindset, the character I may be trying to uh, uh, share, the talent or the skill that I may be trying to display. What works best? I can't necessarily do what the other person's doing. I'm gonna have to do what I have to do. And some other people may be like, okay, I see what they're doing. I'm gonna do that, but this is the different tweak or modification that I'm gonna put on it to make that work for me. I know I was watching the young lady that's from Birmingham actually, and she talked about how she wanted to make sure that she posted routinely in order to build her following, her abilities, her skills, and things of that nature. That in order has turned her into what she's coined as the female Tyler Perry, or the Tyler Perry of YouTube. So I think her name is Canarja, I believe. I'm not sure. Forgive me for messing up her name. I'm actually gonna take some time and look it up while I'm sitting here thinking about it. But one thing about it is, she said something where she says that she made a commitment to post every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Your schedule may not permit that. It may permit you to only go on Wednesdays. That's fine. You gotta do what it is, whether it's the study, whether it's the preparation, whether it's the drafting, whether it's the trial and error. That may be that one day a week that you really have time to commit to that additional whatever it might be. You know what I mean? So I thought about that and I said, okay, yeah, Kanigra Dion. Kanigra Dion. 5.6 million subscribers. But anyway, that helped me to kind of get back into some of the things that I'm exploring, because I know it's some of the things that I'm going to get into as I continue to dive into these different angles of what I'm doing. But the one thing about it is this: you have to start and you have to stay with it, because the boring things will turn into the fun things. But you got to put in the time to kind of build and create it before you get that final product. You have to put in the work before you get the results. Because if you think about it, if you want to bake a cake, because I'm about to get off here in a moment, you want to bake a cake, you got to make it before you actually bake it. You got to compile all the ingredients. You got to put in the correct measurements and the correct portions. You got to have that whole recipe. You got to have that plan mapped out. And from that, you have to set it in the correct pan and put it in the oven for the right amount of time at the right temperature. So there are a lot of things that have to go right for that cake to turn out the way you need it to turn out. I've known people that said sometimes the cake didn't turn out, it's stuck to the pan, or I remember people saying, "Hey, don't be so loud, you're gonna make my cake fall if it's in the oven." But the thing of it is this: if that cake didn't turn out right, you don't quit and give up. You try again another time, and you just make sure that, okay, this oven may not bake the way another oven, so I'm gonna have to tweak something about it. But you gotta figure it out. That's all in the figuring out. But the thing about it is, you have to put in the work before you get the results. You have to make it before you bake it. You have to plant it before you harvest it. So, in closing, I'm just gonna reiterate: while eventually you may be able to have it both ways, you can do this and do that because you got things and systems in place for you to have it all. To get to that point, you can't have it both ways. And that's the unpopular opinion for today. Like it or not, you have your opinion, I have my opinion. We all have opinions, and that opinion may very well be an